Everybody, welcome back to Christopher Farms. It's not What's Up Wednesday. I missed What's Up Wednesday. Totally intended to do a What's Up Wednesday video and even started the intro for it. And then got distracted by going over to my buddy's house and getting a bunch of poblano peppers and some other stuff. And some palladino peppers. Getting an antenna for UHF work up on 440 for a repeater that someday I'll go up here, pick that up, got a cabinet for that repeater. I'm using my phone today to do the video, at least this portion of it, because I swapped out and started using my old LG V20 and thought I'd do a little work with it on the camera to see how it worked. It was always a pretty good phone, so we'll see how it does. Standing out here in front of the farm stand, I did some work on it yesterday, got some new signage up, so I did have just stuff laid out on like these sheets here, but I went ahead and printed out some signs for the individual product areas and just put some shipping tape over them so they'd be a little bit more durable. So I think that works out okay. I would want to do maybe some chalkboard signs, just make little signs. So, probably about that big, and make the little chalkboard so I can write on it and change prices and stuff like that. One of the things with this is if you make up signs like this when you go to market, you sort of want to be competitive at the market. So if this is way underpriced for others' prices, you don't want to raise it, vice versa. So the chalkboard allowed me to do that. So I got pumpkins. I had radish. The radish are still good. I need to do something with them. The leaves have wilted. I need some type of cooler mechanism out here to keep radishes. And I planted way more. I planted like I was going to go to the farmer's market, and I haven't been able to do that yet. I probably could have sold all those in a day at the farmer's market, but not out here at the farm stand. So I think I'm going to try and dry some of those and maybe grind them or make them into a radish powder or something, or just cube them up and dry them, and then I could use them in soups and stuff like that. So had radishes, got smaller pumpkins, got larger pumpkins. Got Tennessee dancing gourds. Those are pretty cool to play around with. Got 5 variety of pepper. I got green pepper, green bell pepper, one's red pepper there. I've got some Peter pepper and poblano pepper. I've got palladino pepper. These are some hot Italian peppers. I'll have to tell you the story about those sometime. I got jalapeno peppers, and I've got some sweet banana peppers. I've got some acorn squash. And I've got some butternut squash. I've got more of this in the back. I got more pumpkins too in the back. And I've got corn ear bunches. Got lots of those. And they're not all pretty, so I'm not charging as much for them. I didn't spray my corn at all this year, so there's some insect damage in there. And I don't think it got good fertilizer. Got corn stalk bunches. I got lots of corn and lots of corn stalk still standing in the field, so that's pretty cool. I got a lot of that stuff. So I figure once we start getting more into fall, which it's middle of September now, so it's coming on pretty quick, maybe start doing some more of the corn bunches and the ornamental corn. Of course, you could like feed squirrels and stuff with the corn too. So yeah, that's the little tour of the farm stand this morning. So let me break for my little intro. I want to do something different with my intro, but haven't done that yet. And haven't figured that out yet, but we'll do that. But let me do that, and then we'll come back. All right, so it's Thursday. What are we going to do today? Thirsty Thursday. Let's go get something to drink. Oh, no, wait. It's too early for that. So it's Thursday. I'm going to get up into the National Forest and cut some wood. We've got Hoosier National Forest all to our north and to our west around here. And you can cut firewood up there with permit, and the permit is $20 if I remember right, and you can get a permit that's good for 3 months, and you can do that twice in a year. So you basically get a permit that allows you to cut wood on the forest for 6 months out of the year, and you can get 4 cord per permit, I think. I can't remember exactly how many cord you can get off of it, but there are limits. You can't just go up there and cut endlessly. You also can only cut wood on forest land, can't be private land, and you have to stay within 70 feet of the road. Sort of a benefit, I believe, that helps out the National Forest Service, because if you clear the deadfall from 70 feet from both sides of the road, you actually are starting to create a pretty nice fire break. So any place you have a road that's maybe 10 feet wide, 11, 12 feet wide maybe, going through the forest, and you got folks up there cutting firewood off of both sides of that road, it just extends the size of that fire break a little bit. And I think it makes things look a little bit nicer. As people driving through the forest, there's not like down and dead trees right next to the road. People sort of cut it back and give it a little path through the woods. And it benefits me because it's a cheap way to get firewood. Now, right now, because of coronavirus, the office over in Bedford is closed to the public. You can't go in and you can't get a permit. So I was researching that on the internet and actually found a memo from, and this is, I don't know if this is just like our fire district or, our forest district or the entire national forest system, but there was a memo that said they're waiving the fee and you don't have to pay it, but you still have to act within the guidelines of the license. So you can't take too much firewood. You have to cut within 70 feet of the road, stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to do today. I've got my stuff loaded up. I'll just give you guys a little overview. We might go into more detail later on this. A toolbox for cutting and saws. We'll dig into that a little bit later. A couple of saws there. I've got my Husqvarna, which I'm not really a Husqvarna guy, but I have that one. And I got my big Boss Steel right there. We'll take a look at it later. It's pretty cool. That's the biggest saw that I have. I've got my weed blower because you have to clean up after yourself up in the forest, and I'll be splitting wood up there as well. I'll get my splitter on board here in a minute, and we'll make a mess on the road, and you got to clean that up. So I've got a rake and I've got my blower, and we'll take care of that. Got my chainsaw, chain oil, got my mixed gas, got axe and a couple of other things there that I like to carry with me in case I need to use them and stuff like that. And I got my lunch inside, got my eyes and my ears inside. Need to take the antenna off that's up there. You guys can't see it. I got that yesterday at my buddy's place for putting up a repeater. And I think that's it. Amber alert going out, Indiana, out of Plainfield. So yeah, that's it. Let's get this camera up. I want to get a poblano and I want to get a Palladino pepper out of my farm stand and put it in my lunchbox. Get my wood splitter put on, and we'll be ready to go get wood. So headed up to the forest, and it's the place that I'm going to is a little bit farther up north into the next county. Actually found a sweet place where there was a tree that was across the road, and I cut it out of the road, so sort of did my my Forest Service volunteer duties by clearing the road and got all that firewood. And there's a bunch more up there to get. There's also a couple other places where I can get firewood. So I'm headed up there, and it's pretty far up north from where I'm at, but it's worth it. The permit covers a certain area. It doesn't cover the entire forest, but it covers all the area over here that I may be cutting in. So yeah, good day to get out and cut some wood. I'm actually cutting wood really, really late this year because of all the work I did early in the year. Ideally, at least around this part of the country, I've always heard you want your wood cut, split, and stacked in your woodshed by the end of April. I think it was the end of April, or by Easter. Maybe that was it, by Easter. So definitely way late on that, but what am I gonna do? I gotta get wood in, and I don't need a lot of wood. Well, I burn a lot of wood heating tiny house, but it doesn't consume a whole lot of wood. So theoretically, if I had to, I could go buy some seasoned firewood to get me until this stuff seasons out. And my main concern is having seasoned firewood for maple syrup season. So we'll get plenty of wood in for that, because I should have plenty of time for drying that stuff out. Looking over at the field where they've just done some hay raking and they've got it baled and stuff. So, at any rate, welcome to the channel. It's a nice rake. All right, so we're on the gravel now. There's still some private property up here, even though it seems like, you're in the middle of nowhere for all this stuff, but it'd be nice to have a piece of property out here. But I was gonna say, but getting to work, man, you're in the middle of nowhere. No, I don't have a job. right, coming up to that area where I cut wood. Yeah, right up there is the spot where the tree was across the road. It had been across the road for a little bit, and I figured out why. It's because this is basically a road that dead ends into private property that must not be used very much. So, oh, you guys probably can't see it there, but there's the tree debris over there, and big tree over there. So this is where I'm going to be at. I sat on this road cutting wood for probably 4 hours. And nobody came by, so I'm not worried about blocking traffic, and I don't think people could get by. Anyway, let me get out, get going. All right, so I thought I would start out by talking a little bit about some safety and everyday carry stuff. Don't want to spend a long time talking about this, but I might be able to get into detail in this maybe in some videos down the way. But first thing I got on me is communication equipment. So I got my cell phone. A couple important things when you're talking about cell phone is what's your coverage like and what's your battery like. Do you have coverage where you're at? Do you need to walk up the hill to get coverage? And when you're going into an area, just take a look and see what your coverage is like, because you may find out that you have coverage up at the top of the hill, but not down here in the middle of the hill. And all you have to do is walk up the hill and you'd have coverage. Another important thing to know is know where you're at in your head. So if you have to call for help, you can tell dispatch or whoever where you're at. So I'm at South Ogallala Horse Camp Road and Kentucky Avenue. I am about 300 meters south of that location on Kentucky Avenue. So I have amateur radio. I got this one and I got my mobile in the truck, and this one doesn't reach out and touch anybody because I'm in the middle of nowhere, but my mobile inside the truck does, so I could use that. And I also have my dispatch radio. I'm in a different county, but I can hit my dispatch still, and I could use a mutual aid channel and hit the county dispatch that I'm in. So communication, a lot to that. It's important. Got some traditional PPE, got my safety glasses here, got hearing protection here, respiratory protection, chainsawing stuff up, cuts, gets dusty sometimes. Gloves, either these or a pair of gloves are always live in my truck, as well as a safety vest. I always have a safety vest in my truck. Got one in my car too. If I come up to an accident or something, might need this, get dispatched on a fire run or something where I just go direct. And then last but not least, no, this isn't last. I got my first aid kit. So this has got some trauma stuff in it. This is an EDC for my truck, everyday carry in a truck. I got one just like it in my car too. So for me out here, it's probably going to be trauma dressing is important, tourniquet is important, and yeah, there you go. So a couple other things I got going on. Let me see if I can get to it in my pocket. And I found it in my pocket. I don't know if I can get it out of my pocket. Another EDC item. I don't smoke, but this is just a Bic lighter. You know, it's surprising how often you may need to light something on fire. Then I've got my knife that I carry with me. It's one of those things too. It's like, you know, when you have your knife, you don't realize how often you use it until you forget to put it in your pocket. And then I think the last thing that I may have, sort of personal protection. I got a lot of water in the truck for drinking. It's important to stay hydrated. And then I've got my pistola on me too, out here in the middle of nowhere. Animals. Mostly out here what you have is wild dog packs, where people have dropped dogs off out here. They've dumped them out here and they form packs, and maybe they get a little mean or something, I don't know. And then of course, you know, people. I've never had any problem ever with anybody out here, but you never know. So I've got that on me, and then, well, the truck has some stuff in it too. I always sort of say, you know, go defensive to the truck, and then, well, from the truck, you pretty much just do whatever you want. So yeah, got that. So, okay, that's it. Let's, sort of my little safety deal, and let's get started cutting some wood. All right, I got some of that stuff cut up. There was also some stuff that I had, guess I don't need my hearing protection on. There was also some stuff that I had pre-cut that I'll pull out here, sort of keep the area clean. Get this stacked next to the old log splitter here.
So I like having a little hatchet on me, nice and sharp, because you get little hanger-ons like this where you didn't realize it was on there when you were cutting. You don't have to go get the saw, get it started up, then shut it down and go put it back. You just have this on you, a couple of whacks, and it's off. And I'll actually use this to clear the smaller stuff rather than get the saw out, because I just have to whack it, and there you go. Can't get that to stick.